All right, from Con Air to Con Kids. His support of Mitt gave teachers a fit. A 15-year-old conservative kid, is there any other kind, says he was bullied by adults at school. Yes, adults. For his political views, Benji Backer, great name, is known, like most teens, for his Tea Party speeches. And the Wisconsin ninth grader says that over 3 years, teachers scolded him for his opinions and for campaigning for Romney and Governor Scott Walker. Here's Kid Conservative describing the harassment he faced.
During the session, she went down on the couch, stand up, look in the mirror, went down. And not only can I say it, but
great. I apologize, that was the wrong tape. Can we see the Megyn Kelly interview?
The worst incident, Megan, was with my English teacher. He had a day in class early this year where he decided to tell me that small business workers and owners take off Fridays and summers. He also told me that he worked harder than my dad. He told me that he didn't have enough money to stabilize his family working for the teachers, so he had to work in the summer painting houses.
He is more Tucker Carlson than Tucker Carlson.
Well, we go to the same barber.
Do we even need to discuss the story now? I think that's it right there.
The young man also talked about the effect this had on other students.
What worries me is the other students. The other students have to sit through these classes and hear these teachers have these views about Scott Walker and Mitt Romney, but they also see another student getting harassed or bullied, and they don't know what to do. As a student, it is scary to stand up to a teacher.
You know, Tucker, by the way, we're joking about this, but really he is a modern version of the rebel. That what he's doing is more nonconformist than a goth or a biker, and he's in a war zone. It's not about him against students, because students don't care. What he's dealing with, and I know this personally because I have a niece and a nephew in high school and one in junior college that deal with this all the time. It's the teachers that are doing it. It's not the students.
Well, 100%. I have 3 teenagers. I see this kind of
thing. You
have
kids, too.
All the time. Yes, I do. And 3 of them are teenagers. No, I mean, this kid has some huevos. I mean, I'm definitely impressed. I mean, if there's an argument against tenure, it begins here. And apparently the teacher swore at him, attacked him for his views. I mean, it's,
Did you look like that when you were younger?
Let me just say, well, I've always had shaggy hair.
Yeah.
Just because the ladies like it.
But you know what? If he's lucky if he grows up to look like you, because you have a boyish demeanor that it seems to survive.
I've had a ton of work done. A ton. I just turned 57. I'm not kidding. It's expensive.
That's good to know. Diane, he's clearly outspoken about his views. So should he expect friction because of that?
Well, no. It depends on whether he's initiating these conversations or not. I think the problem is that teachers in public schools, at least in my experience in public schools, talk about politics even in classes where it has nothing to do with politics at all. You're in English class and they're somehow talking about Obama, or in my case, Clinton. So I think it's inappropriate for teachers to be talking about politics where it doesn't belong. And I think parents and students should be more vocal about it. I'm glad this kid's speaking out, and I think more kids should do the same. But they're learning a valuable lesson, which is they have to deal with narrow-minded jerks for the rest of their lives, and they're learning to do it at an early age. So these kids are getting a head start.
That was an aside to Bill Schultz. Brooke.
That's a good positive twist.
Here's the interesting thing.
They're learning to debate.
I have a theory, Brooke, that it's impossible for a Republican kid or a conservative to be a victim of bullying because they are exempt from that. Like if you bully a goth or if you bully a liberal, but you can't bully a Republican because people think they're mean anyway, right?
Right, that's the whole hypocrisy. And I also want to say I really applaud this young man for his courage and what he's doing to raise awareness about this issue and how concerned he is about the welfare of other students. And it's indicative of what's happening across American campuses. The Federalist Society at Harvard is coming out with a report about what 76% of professors in law schools, some of the best law schools, are left-wing. They're contributors to the Democratic Party.
Very few people reported that on
But we're also seeing it's not just teachers. We're seeing, for example, the Muslim Law Student Association, and we're seeing other left-wing organizations do what amounts to a violation of these students' civil rights under Title VI, and a lot of it is actionable. And that is why my next book coming out is about protecting your rights on campus. It's called A Student's Guide to Unlawful Harassment on Campus. And stay tuned, it's coming out.
I smell a guest segment coming on, or that could just be gas. Bill, Let's talk about little Tucker for a moment.
Yeah.
Little Tucker.
Come.
Little Tucker. Do you think celebrities who do those it gets better bullying things will ever do it gets better for little Tucker?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're outspoken for adults, that's a word that means, yeah, maybe you've got some cojones. If you're an outspoken and you're a kid, you're a brat. This kid wrote for FreedomWorks. That to me says that he wasn't just sitting there silently with a little flag lapel pin in the back of his class. He was instigating. He was instigating every day, and he was collecting arguments like baseball cards. And if you don't think any kid with a really strong political opinion is a jerk, then I got 2 words for you: Jonathan Crone.
No, that's okay. You made a point with Jonathan Crone. Touche. That was wounding.
That did hurt. I died a little bit.
That did hurt. I died a little bit.
Any kid who's opinionated about anything.
But see, no.
I'm sorry.
Bill,
that's something Crone would do.
Bill, let me make a distinction between that. Jonathan Crone went out and spoke. This guy is talking about being in a classroom where liberal teachers always bother you. For example, if he had been talking about social justice, he would be beloved.
Oh, of course. If he were leading a Take Back the Night rally or talking about AIDS awareness or the transgender movement, I mean, this kid would be
but only with his teachers. This kid's 15. Nobody likes somebody who's political of either stripe at that age.
I think he's acting up against teachers. I know from again, I do have a niece and nephew. I'm not making this up. They do tell me stories, and it's like stories that are often ending with Greg, get out of my bedroom. But anyway, the stories are their teachers talk about global warming as if it's fact, and talk about Barack Obama, and they talk about how Mitt Romney's a joke during the election. It's stuff. It's like this kid maybe had enough. We got to take a break. Scintillating conversation, I might add. All right, coming up. Is it time for you to learn a new hobby? Diane Macedo discusses her new book, I Poke the Aged with a Dirty Stick. What? It's not a hobby, Diane, and it's cruel. You disgust me. Maybe that's why you're not married yet. But first, should our military say see ya when it comes to North Korea? We report you drive a Kia.